Adulting and what to watch instead of the news.
That's
All
really
right.
very
Well, when
good.
I looked at it previously, you hadn't wrote the news. You were adulting and what to watch instead, and you just stopped.
Okay. Hi.
Hey,
This is what it's like to
to be us, to be us. What is going on,
be us.
everybody?
Hi, everyone. Happy
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Hump day. It's hump
Oh, what does
day.
that mean?
Back when I used to have a 9 to 5, hump day used to be like everything because he's like, all right, we're done with the first 3 days of the week, and now we only have to wait till Friday.
Question. Do you look at the camera or are you looking at the video of
I don't know.
yourself?
Hi, I'm probably looking at here.
Yeah,
Look at the camera.
I'm looking at the camera. It's like I'm looking at your soul.
It looks weird.
Because you be
Hey
looking,
y'all.
you be looking at yourself. Look at the camera. So they can see you.
I do like myself.
Yeah.
Hi everyone.
What's up,
Welcome
everybody?
to today's video.
We're talking about adulting and we watch
Watch
some of the
the
news.
news.
So, babe, why don't we watch the news?
So we don't watch the news because we don't have to.
All right.
But
all right.
I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
we don't watch the news because we don't have to. We don't watch the news because when we actually used to watch the news all the time. We will wake up and turn on TV and watch CNN. That used to be the thing, the number one thing we used to do every morning. And then while we were getting ready to work, we would be watching CNN. What was that show?
MSNBC, Morning Joe.
Morning Joe. We will watch that regularly.
Mhm.
We will watch Rachel Maddow at 9:00. I think it's 9:00 when she came on.
You know, you still know time.
Still know time. Sundays, JP didn't want to be bothered until after he watched Meet the Press. So he used to watch that a lot. What else did we used to watch? You also watch Fox News too. You'll go
check in, see what's going on. We would watch a little bit of everything.
Yeah. And then at nighttime, I know I mentioned Rachel, but we also used to do the late night TV shows too.
So it was like a break from the news, but not really, because that's all they talk about. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they talk about. Now, whatever Trump is doing, they're making fun of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So we used to be really big news people, but what happened was that we realized that it was actually making us feel bad. Like, at least for me, JP will share his experience, but we will get up in the morning and then the news will be on. We were starting the day with bad news because you already know there's rarely good news on the news, so you're always watching bad news.
If it bleeds, it leads.
The first thing that we will watch is like new breaking news. And on top of that, we were also subscribed to all the news outlets. So I used to get the alerts from Huffington Post, from Politico, from all the political sites you can think of. Right. I was in it, and it was just really, it started giving me anxiety. Honestly, that's why I was like, we gotta stop watching the news. At least I said I gotta stop watching the news. Hey, Jessica. And then after I was like, I want to stop watching the news. You still wanted to watch it though.
Yeah, I think around the election, for me, we were still living in DC. I was working at a nonprofit, and the field was more liberal than it was conservative. So when even leading up to the election, they used to have TVs on, you know, with the news, and during the election and that whole thing, like you can just tell like the energy was like sucked out of that place. Yeah. And so after the election, it was almost like that place was kind of numb and people didn't know how to operate. And then I was like, why does this have so much power over people? And even me, like, even though I didn't feel like I need to be on one side or the other, there was that feeling of just overall bringing that energy that, you know, I was like, why that? And it's like, all right, I don't know, because you had already decided that you didn't want to watch as much news, and some of the things we're learning were telling us, hey, you should probably stop the news. So we decided to cancel the cable and kind of cut that stuff off completely.
And the crazy thing about canceling the cable was that we found out, well, we didn't find out, but it came to light that we have a phone number. We had a phone number because we had signed up for Verizon. Right. And they were like, if you don't get a landline, it's going to be more.
Right.
So we had a landline, and when it's time for us to just have internet, I think that was also like, oh, you guys have a landline. It was just like all these things
we
just want the internet. Yeah. We just wanted. That was even challenging because trying to convince I don't want to say convince, but it really feels like convincing some of these companies to only give you internet was a bit challenging too for us when we were cutting off of the news.
Like for only $10, you can get all these channels. It's like, we don't want any channels.
So after we canceled the news, after we canceled cable, we were like, all right, we're canceling cable. What are we gonna watch? I don't think we were initially like, what are we gonna watch instead? Because we like sports a lot. So we watch a lot of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We had League Pass, so we would spend a lot of time watching that. So that took a lot of watching time. And then the other times we were at work, so we didn't really have as much time to watch TV because then we still had to go to a place a place outside of the home to work.
Right.
And there, actually, at work is when you would watch the news. You will catch a glimpse of the news.
Yeah, the news would be, like I said, would be on at work.
Yeah. So that was also a thing for us. But when we decided to move to Florida, we definitely were like, we didn't get no cable here or anything. We just got the internet. And what are we watching now? So we stopped watching all the late night stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All the
Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel's and all that.
Oh, we never really got into Jimmy Kimmel, but we definitely, Colbert, Trevor Noah with The Daily Show, we stopped watching that. We stopped watching all the Morning Joe, all the news stuff. We cut off all the news. And at first people would be like, how you don't watch the news? Like, don't you want to know what's going on? And
I have to know what's going on. And we used to feel like that, but our little experiment showed that
you're fine.
We're just fine.
At the beginning, I was like, yo, this is a little bit crazy. We don't watch the news. We don't know what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I feel like because of the work that we did at that time, you still kind of knew what was going on. Right. Like I worked in an association that worked with the government. So I knew I knew what mattered. Mm-hmm. In that, like, I knew what wasn't breaking news. Because I also started realizing that people would say breaking news and then they'll just run with it.
Everything is a breaking news.
And everything's not breaking news. So I don't know.
It can't be breaking news if you told me the same thing last hour. You just decided to update me with this little bit, that'll count as breaking information. And we wouldn't be where we are today in our lives if we hadn't made room in our lives by eliminating the news and eliminating those other voices that are coming into our head and telling us what to do. And, you know, we've been talking recently this week about my journey to get more in touch with myself. Well, if I had other voices coming into my head, you know, it would be even that more difficult for me to listen to that voice inside of me to really figure out my direction. So, you know, just overall, it's been great for our adulting life, not having the news. And guess what? When I talk to my friends, they'll tell you the news anyway. So that's all they talk about. I go home and visit my friends and the news is on. I visit my family, the news is on. So it comes in even when you don't try to, even when you're like at the gas station, you're pumping gas, the little screen is going to tell you something. You walk into a restaurant, they got TVs on. So even avoiding it, it still finds a way to come in. And sometimes I will Google like news and see what's going on, but that's like very rarely.
And intentional. Like, I think it's a difference between you willingly wanting to go and see what's on the news and you having the news on all the time and letting them tell you what they want and you soaking that in. So that's definitely one area where we can look at. And for me in particular, when I think about like the news now, it's like, what is the news? Like, it's so hard to know what news is really news because things that people put on Facebook can become news. Things that like are in the political realm can become news. Like, there are so many, anything can be news at any time. So I don't even know if news is like the place to get the breaking news or whatever it is anymore. So since we cut that off, we spent time reading. A lot of TV time we used to do, I think, went into reading because we spent a lot more time reading. And then JP and I, we watch basketball, we watch sports. And even that, we're probably gonna cut back massively next year.
Canceled the league pass
because we were watching a lot of basketball, man. Like we were going to bed at like midnight, waiting for the Western Conference games.
You were waiting for Golden State.
Yeah, I was. It was too much, and then you can't just leave the game, man. It's too much. So we probably
sound like someone played the game. Somebody was out there shooting in the gym.
You can't leave the game. You can't leave the game. So we're going to not get a league pass next year, so to come back even more. But we have been watching stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of funny stuff on YouTube. We love stand up. So anything that's funny, we will watch it. So if you got funny recommendations and stuff, let me know because we'll check that out. So we do watch a lot of funny stuff on YouTube. I'm watching these guys now. These 3 guys. They like critique. They share their opinion on women videos that they be dancing, and I don't know why I find that so entertaining. But I do, and I watch it, and it cracks me up. Dragon Ball Z. We watch anime because we love anime. I love Dragon Ball Z. I watch it a lot too. So I think those are places where I think I watch things that are not the news. And I've learned that it hasn't really changed the quality of my life. Like I think a lot of people think that if they stop watching the news, that their life quality is gonna change as far as like panic is gonna decrease. I think for us, it has increased the quality of our lives because we can spend more time together doing other things instead of worrying about the news or worrying in what Thelma. Hi Thelma. Worrying about things that don't really matter. So that's what I would think we do. We play more games too. So instead of watching the news, we actually play games together. JP and I play card games. That's one thing we like to do. We want to spend time together. So something that you can do. I also journal. I spend a lot more time journaling, like, checking in with myself, taking the time that I would give to the television to me so that I can check in with me and make sure that I'm good. JP takes some of the time to play video games and decompress. What else are we doing instead of watching the news?
My favorite part is just getting to talk more instead of usually that time that YouTube would spend on the couch watching TV, watching the news. We now spend it, talking to each other and learning more about each other and improving our relationship, which in the end, I think is way better than the news in the first place. Yeah. And it adds to our adulting. It helps us do that, right? Adulting well.
It is helping us adult better. Speaking of adulting better, first of all, I recently learned.
We are my favorite couple too.
So silly. Have you all ever been like, do you obsess about who you think you need to be instead of like acknowledging who you are? Because not recently, let's be honest. It's been a while now. It's been a while now that I've really been obsessing with what I believe I'm supposed to be. And because I'm so obsessed with who I think I need to be, I get in the way of who I actually am. And I want to find a simpler way of saying that if there is it. But it's like, do you have an idea of what you think you need to be like? And that idea keeps you from being who you actually need to be. That's an area where I've really been working through over the past few weeks. I have this obsession of who I think I need to be and what I think that person looks like. And one of the things I recently learned is that the woman I think I need to be has it together, all the way together. And there have been things I haven't been sharing with y'all because I didn't really want you in my mess like that. And I know I didn't really want you in my business like that because y'all be ruthless. So I had to ask myself, when did it become so powerful for me to care what people think about me, to determine what I share that I know can impact them and impact their lives? And it really was an eye-opener because I think of myself as someone that's really vulnerable and open, but it turns out that for the things that I feel like I don't have together, I struggle and I'm like, okay, I feel like I don't have this thing together. I'm not really trying to have you in my business. Hey, Michelle, this is my husband. Michelle is in the area actually. So I really wanted to just be open about that because so many of us struggle with being who we are. And if you want to become that person that you want to be, you can start being that person today. If you want to become the person that loves herself more, you can start loving yourself more right now. And I think I have been caught up with wanting to become this person, but wanting to pretend I was doing it, that I really wasn't doing it. And because of that, I have been putting a lot of stress on myself, giving myself unnecessary deadlines, getting unnecessary pressure, not being available to things that might be my partner needed, that I needed. And I think a lot of us sometimes struggle with that. So if that's been your experience, like, I generally want you to know that the only way to address that is to acknowledge it. Is to acknowledge that that's how you feel about yourself. That in this moment, you think you don't have it together and you are afraid to show that to other people. When you acknowledge that that's how you feel, then you can be honest about how to change and address those feelings. For me, it was hard to be like, oh, I'm not vulnerable, because I talk about feelings. Like, people don't usually talk about feelings. So for them, it's really vulnerable that I do it. But just because I do it, it doesn't mean that I'm honest, like that this is my vulnerable part. It comes easy to me to do it. So I'm like, yeah, this comes easy, let's do it. But deep down, there's been a lot of things I've been really private about, because once again, I don't want to showcase that I don't have it together.
That's one thing that you've been really private about that you need to release.
I feel like you're having a mini intervention with me.
This is how it works. Whenever somebody else is going through their journey, the other person's like, I'm going to get me some learning in here too. I'm going to have a breakthrough.
I think one thing I really been struggling with is food. Just eating regularly, eating 3 meals a day. I talk a lot about how eating healthy is important, and I do believe eating healthy is really important. But for me, it's really a challenge. Like, in the morning, I have my smoothie, but if I don't feel like having something cold, I feel like I get bored out of things easily, and I'm always struggling to eat something. And then you walk to the fridge, you open the fridge, you look in the fridge, and you're like, I don't want nothing in this damn fridge. You close the fridge, you walk away, you do a lap around the living room, and you come back, open the fridge again, and there's still nothing there that you want to eat. And I've really been struggling with that. And it's been something that has really kept me from being health-wise where I want to be, because I just struggle. I don't know. I really don't know how to, like, I've been doing my best to get a handle of it. I'm better at it than before, but I still struggle to eat 3 meals a day. Like, it's just a real challenge for me.
It is. Because I be like, you eating? You having that popcorn for lunch, dinner?
Sometimes I eat plantain chips for dinner. Air chips dinner. I sometimes I don't eat dinner because it's like, I mean, does that mean that something is wrong with me? I don't know. Does that mean, like, I don't know what that means. Maybe I'm not a 3 meals a day person. Anything is possible. Maybe that's a possibility, but that's something that I've been really struggling with. Another thing that I've been struggling with is that I have been grieving my life, my old life in New York, like my city life. I don't live in a city anymore, like a major city anymore. So there are things that are not here that used to be where I used to live. And a big part of that is my friends. Yummy food once again. delicious food. Delicious. Yo, honest, dead ass. Some of the best food I've had is in New York and in DC, and not here. So that's the issue, because then I can't even order from a place and be like, oh, I'm gonna have a good meal, because the food is not that good. Limited. So I'm like.
And Bay used to be, or not used to be, she's still a banging cook.
I do. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like cooking, y'all. So my eating behaviors haven't been the healthiest.
But
I'm working on it.
Getting slim over here.
I'm getting slim because I'm working now, not because I'm not eating. First of all, let me just be clear about that. I do eat.
That's what I mean.
I do eat.
She's working out.
Yes. I'm just not consistent about it. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So that's been a challenge for me. Being here, not having my friends close, not having my family close, like always being with Babe. Like I need some space from him. I need some space from the apartment. So Michelle, yes, we're gonna link up sooner or later. But yeah, I just need some room, and I think we have.
We're in your room. You got your own.
This is my room. We're recording from the office. Space. Well, I need I need humans, which is something that I never thought I would say, but I need other humans, like, for fellowship, for interaction, and for connection, and for space. And if I'm going to miss you or enjoy my space away from you, I need to be away from you to do it. It just doesn't work like this.
True stories.
And it could be,
hey, Cindy, just enjoy it in here.
It's too much. It's exhausting being with one person all the time. Like, but it sounds good in theory. But after a year and plus, you're like, where are the other people? Like, this is too much. So I feel like I've really been struggling with that. And I think that has forced me to spend a lot of time with myself, which I love. But there's also so much about me that I spend way too much time with myself. Like, I can spend some more time, whether it is volunteering with other people or with friends, or, you know, learning about their lives. Like, I just spend way too much time on myself, like with myself, like journaling and reflecting. Like,
Yes.
I spend like hours doing
you
that.
You do be journaling. Like, I'm like, I don't want to mess with somebody's flow, but I'm like, she's writing a lot. I'm ready to go to bed. Like,
I journal a lot. I journal a lot, and I think I find that comfort in my journal. Like, my journal is my friend, because I don't have friends in real life. My journal is my friend because I don't have friends in real life where I live, guys. Yeah. That's what's going on here.
Where you live.
Michelle said, yes, was Times Square the other day. I know the feeling, miss New York too. I know.
I
New York,
miss the food.
New York is, oh man, yo, New York is a whole nother ball game. Like, food in New York is so popping. Definitely miss New York sometimes. So that's one thing I've been struggling with. Babe, anything, I mean, for me, from my end, those have been the areas where I've felt like I haven't been as honest about, because you know, I didn't want you to drag me. Yeah, could, you know, internet could be really draggy of people. And honestly, I didn't feel trust in myself enough. I wasn't centered in myself enough to not care if you drag me or not, for whatever it is you think about what I say. But now I am. So I don't care what you do with this information, because it's important for me to be honest about what I'm struggling with. And a lot of people think vulnerability is weakness, that if you're vulnerable, you're weak. I know that vulnerability makes you strong, because it means that you can look at this area of yourself that you're not doing the best you can, and work at it and improve it and build it so that you can help other people do the same thing for them and help them light their own candle. Now I like to think of myself as a candle, and I'm lighting the candle of other people. And because of that, I feel more and more empowered to be honest with myself about the shit that I've been ignoring on purpose.